So this is part 2 of painting this bust. This time we are going to be learning how I approach painting red hair. Just before we start, I just wanted to add that if you struggle with creating translucent layers of paint, you might want to use a glaze medium or laminate medium as Games Workshop call it. I should have probably said that in the painting skin video to use a glaze medium, but I completely forgot. Anyway, let's get started on the colours we're using. So firstly, I'm mixing like a burnt sienna, like a browny reddy colour with some purple. So I'm going to be gradually building that up in thin, translucent layers. As with skin, hair has a lot of different colours in it and it's not completely opaque. Now I'm going to be adding a dash of red to our already done mixture and just building up them layers. For every new paint that we're adding, we are putting on less and less areas of the model, still keeping some of our previous paint showing through as well. As with the skin tutorial, if you're finding you're losing one of your previous colours, there's nothing stopping you with going back in with that colour again. And now we're going to be adding a warm yellow to our original colours. So we're going to be adding a bit of red and a bit of that burnt sienna colour and a dash of purple if we want to as well. And just building up those layers gradually. So instead of purely using red or orange paint to create red hair or ginger hair, it doesn't really look real, but if you start to mix these colours together and play around with it, it looks more like actual like reddy, gingery auburn hair. I just want to add again that as miniature painters, we often forget the wider world of art, and if you have a look at how canvas painters approach painting faces and hair, you'll learn a lot more about how colour works. I've still kept some of that purple and like magenta colour that I painted down first showing through. It's like underpainting and it kind of ties all the model together because there's purple going to be showing through throughout the model. I'm just adding a dash more yellow to the mixture here, just gradually building up our colours, so getting brighter. For my last highlight, I'm going to be adding like a lemony vanilla-y yellow colour. This is a fantastic colour to use. If you don't have that particular colour, just grab some yellow and mix in a little bit of a very light flesh tone. I prefer to use like a pallid witch flesh colour to enhance the brightness of a colour as a highlight rather than just using white itself, because white tends to desaturate the colour you're using and wash it out too much and stand out. I'm pretty much happy with the hair now, so I'm going to be moving on to her top. Again, I'm going to be keeping that purple showing through, but I decided to get a green as that contrasts well with purple. Just getting it a translucent type of colour now, and then I'm just washing it over the top of it. A glaze is very similar to a wash, but instead of sitting in the recesses of a model, it sits on top of it and creates a translucent layer over the top of our previous colour, sort of enhancing it and creating something completely different than just painting over the top of it. I will try to in the future have a video just discussing the different mediums and additives you can add to acrylic paints, because acrylics are extremely versatile and you can do so many different things with them. So just to recap the colours I used particularly on the hair, so I used a purple and a burnt sienna colour mixed together as our first layer, and then I started to mix red in to create a more reddy colour, and so from there adding a little bit more red and a little bit more of the burnt sienna colour. After that I started to work in some yellow with that mixture, so to create a bit more of a gingery kind of colour. Next I added like a lemony vanilla-y yellow. If you don't have that, add some yellow with some pallid witch flesh or some white at a push if you need to. And that's the bust completed. Thank you for watching. I do actually sell these in my store, the link will be in the description, but I definitely suggest painting busts as good practice.